Good afternoon. I would like to call to order the Gladstone Community Center Advisory Board meeting on Tuesday, March 17th, 2026 at 3:35 p.m. I will now read into the record that the City of Gladstone is abiding by guidelines set forth in House Bill 2560, which requires the governing body of the public body to extent reasonably possible to make all meetings accessible remotely through technological means and provide opportunity for members of general public to remotely submit oral and written testimony during meetings to extent in-person oral and written testimony is allowed. Therefore, this meeting will be open to the public, both in person and virtually using the Zoom platform. Haley, would you please do the roll call?
Joelle Lactu.
Here.
Sharon Howard.
Here.
Tony Bergeron.
Here.
Mindy Prosky.
Here.
Evelyn Johannesson. Josie Whitaker.
Here.
Kiva Antilla.
Here.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 20th, 2026, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting.
Thank you, Josie.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Sharon. Haley, would you call the vote?
Joelle Lactu.
Yes.
Sharon Howard.
Yes.
Tony Bergeron.
Yes.
Mindy Prosky.
Yes.
Josie Whitaker.
Yes.
Kiva Antilla.
Yes.
Okay, meeting minutes from the January 20th, 2026 meeting has been approved. Thank you so much. Let's see. So why is my, sorry.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
It's okay. We just went ahead and did roll call. We're good. We are all good. So we'll give Michelle a second to catch a breath. And then we will go ahead with the business from the community center staff with the general updates.
All right, thank you. And again, I'm so sorry for being late. Thank you for waiting.
Of course.
So updates. We'll go into the January report first. It's included in your packet. We had Teen Takeover. That was a pretty good success in January. We had quite a few kiddos come for the month of January. I'll talk a little bit more of how that program's been going since then. But for the first two, or for those two, we had probably 5 or 6, and then I think 11 on one of the other nights. So also in January, we started getting ready for AARP taking tax reservations reservations basically for taxes, and they filled up within the first week. So it's a huge amount of Gladstonian seniors and Gladstones low income that come in to get their taxes done at the center. And so we had opened up our tax line, and like I said, within 3 weeks, it had pretty much filled up. We did quite a few different lunch and learns in January to kind of kick off healthy eating. January, new diets, all being healthy. So we had natural grocers come in and did actually a three series lunch and learn about cooking with organic whole foods. We had a nutritionist come in and demonstrate to people about cooking healthy foods, and just kind of took a kind of the approach of get healthy, get fit in the month of January with our lunch and learns. What else did we do? We had our winter courses started up in January. One of the things that I think we're most proud about in the winter courses is that we were finally able to get enough kiddos to do the youth art class. And so we have a very talented art instructor. Her name is Jean Higgins. She's actually volunteering her time to teach these kids. It's from 4 to 5:30 on Tuesdays. They're wrapping up their last class this evening And they have learned so much. And we did actually, Kyla had started a progression wall in our library. So the kids, it's not just a free for all painting class, right? Jean's an artist. She has been for 65 years. She would have them start, one of their projects was a goose. And so the first, week, they did the outline of the goose. And it just progressed throughout the class period or throughout the weeks and the months. And we would hang their progression and take pictures of them each week in the library. And so the participants around the center were really starting to get a kick out of it, like going in there to see how far the kids had got on their geese. So not only were the kids having fun with it and it was a place to have them dry, but anyone coming into the center really was getting into it. That pretty much sums up January. February. If you guys look, I don't know if you guys can really tell on these charts, but during the winter months, we kind of slowed down on participants coming in. It's really starting to ramp up now. But February, we started getting more and more participants coming in. It was some of our busiest times over the winter was the month of February, with people coming in and having lunches and just wanting to really hang out. Also in February, we were able to get our sign installed, which I'll let Bonnie talk about that when she's up. We had quite a few different lunch and learns in February. We focused on bill assistance, energy assistance. So we had PGE come in. We had TriMet come in and talk about different, ways for transportation for individuals who not only are seniors, but maybe low income, developmentally delayed, any of those things, or just needed a ride. There's resources out there through TriMet, and they had a joint program that they paired up with Clackamas County to start offering more rides to rural areas to get people in here. So they came in and talked about that. PGE came in and signed up quite a few people for the bill assistance at the lunch and learn. So they were not only there, and that was the same with TriMet. They come to these lunch and learns, they talk about everything, but they're on hand to sign people up for whatever service that they're putting out there. We also had Black Pioneers come in. I don't know if you guys remember last year, we did this for Black History Month. So this year they did 450 years in 45 minutes. So I think it was a success. We had, I think last year, maybe 12 to 15 people show up for this. And this year we had over 24. So I think we just keep going with this with different community programming events at night or later in the day that don't necessarily coincide with our everyday operations at the community center, but try to get more community engagement programs. So that was that one. Again, now we're full swing into AARP. We've got all our appointments coming in, and every Friday, the AARP volunteers are there doing people's taxes, and that's still going on now. So it's very busy at our center on Fridays right now. We had our Valentine's Day lunch, and Monica is doing a terrific job in the kitchen. Today we had St. Patty's Day. Her, along with the volunteers, cooked up a mean corned beef, cabbage, but in a mashed potato. Sorry, I kind of jumped forward here, but it just was reminding me today. Valentine's Day was equally good, but she's just been doing a fantastic job in the kitchen, making these terrific meals that people are really enjoying eating. We continued over with our 3-part series from National Grocers. So she's finished up in February. We had, again, our Teen Takeover. Started kind of slowing down with Teen Takeover. Didn't get very many kids that came in February. And actually we had 2 months. What are we at? March? So we had not this last one, but the two before that, 0 kids came for both of the teen takeovers. We had a big screen TV installed in February. I'll let Bonnie talk about that since that was also another generous donation from the foundation. And we tied up a lot of loose ends in February. We had a broken table. We had our Oliver sealer machine had broke, just a lot of weird things. And so we were able to tie up all those loose ends and get those things fixed, get new things shipped to us all in the month of February. And the back page is just all our classes that we have in full swing that we started in January. They all pretty much filled up. And that's just some of the fun stuff we're doing on the back page there. Yeah, so now springing ahead to Teen Takeover, like I was just saying, we did have this last Saturday, 6 or 7 kiddos came to the Teen Takeover, but it was one friend group. And the feedback that we're kind of getting is that kids don't want to come there necessarily and hang out, which is sad for all of us. But at the same time, we don't want to continue a program that kids aren't interested in coming to. So we're going to go ahead and have this last one, which is going to be First Responders Night on not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And the fire department's going to come. And then we're going to put it on a little bit of hold until fall and kind of reevaluate what we want to do there. Maybe get a better shoe in with the school and see how we can kind of bridge that. Or we're also thinking, I don't know if any of you have had a chance to go up to the Oak Lodge Community Center that opened up. Have you guys seen that one? Right after we launched our Teen Takeover, they also decided to go ahead but that's a great thing because they have a huge gymnasium, basketball courts. It's huge. It's beautiful. So I'd like to reach out to them and also see they're a mile away from us. We both don't need to be doing it if all of our kids can go to this one location. So some things to kind of look at and think about moving. We'll have time to do that over the summer, kind of reevaluate that and see if that's something we want to continue in the fall, or if maybe we can find a community partner, kind of like we did with the swim lessons in the city, where it's not necessarily at our building, but we can help facilitate our youth to have a place to go. So we're looking into that. Currently, we had St. Patty's Day today. And we're just plugging along. We have our classes that wrapped up, makeup classes this week, and we have a short break. And then we're going to start up in April with our spring classes, which are going to be the same that we had this last term. We are getting ready to launch May. Possibly a memoirs class. We had an instructor that came in and showed interest on a memoirs class. So that is going to be a new writing class that we're going to try to see if people are interested in. We're going to be doing some more of the workshops that seem to be popular. We did the pumpkin succulent one. We're going to do a wreath one. And we are also going to move towards trying to figure out maybe 1 or 2 nights that we have some kind of activity at the community center that the public can come to, maybe paint and sip or something like that. So throwing around ideas with that to kind of open up the center sometimes in the evening hours for people who can't come during the day, and getting our garden all ready and just embracing spring and the sunshine. And that's all we've really got going on. Questions?
I have a question. Why does Tai Chi get to continue and yoga has to wait?
So Tai Chi, the instructor chooses not to take a break, and he's a volunteer instructor. So with the community programming, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with government budgeting, but we're new at this. It's our first year, right, of doing the community programming. And we had to kind of figure out, or we as in I had to figure out how much would I be paying out to instructors for 2 years? So forecasting ahead. Um, and so we only had that certain money allocated for instructor pay for 2 years. And as a new program, there wasn't a lot of wiggle room of what I could show, or there was none, no data that I could say, we're going to actually pay the instructors with the money that we have coming in. So it's a wash, right? Because we hadn't had these kind of classes before. So, you know, the best I could, I came up with a number of how much we would pay instructors versus how much we would charge, and line item that for 2 years. Well, in the meantime, the community school had also was going to take the painting class, and they ended up coming over to our center. So we have an extra expense with the painting instructor that kind of eats up a lot of that. So we have no wiggle room really within that line item. Gary, we're fortunate enough, that's the Tai Chi instructor. He volunteers his time to be a Tai instructor so that we can offer any amount of individuals who want to take any of the classes for absolutely no cost. All they have to do is come talk to us. We had some of the kiddos in the class, the painting class. We've had multiple other people in the other classes. All they do is come in and tell us that they'd like to take the class for free, and we're able to do that because of that one instructor. And so he has a little bit more flexibility with his class, and that's how he wants to run it, with no break. And we're fine with that. The other ones, I couldn't do that because we pay them $20 an hour, and we don't have that allocated for them to run the full amount of time. Did that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Others?
Where is the Oak Lodge Community
Yeah, Concord. So do you guys remember the old, exactly, the old Concord school? If you guys haven't been over there, they completely redid that school. They built a pretty fantastic library that's connected up to on the side over by the play structure. And they also have, don't quote me on this, but I want to say one of, or the first fully accessible playgrounds. It's something like that. It's a special playground. Kids, they not only took into account kids with wheelchairs or different disabilities. I mean, it's worth going over there and taking a look at. It's really neat, guys. So, and that building is the community center over there. That's what it was designed for. Right now, I do not believe they're operating it fully as a community center. There's no food services or anything like that going out of it. But they do have the capacity to host. They have a huge gym, basketball, and great rooms to host any kind of events there. So I do not believe there's any weights in there. So when I toured it, at least they didn't have any in there. So
I have a comment about teen takeover, maybe coordinating with the high school about dates, because the 28th was winter formal, I
Yep.
believe. And then Valentine's Day, of course, people were, I'm sure you've already thought of that.
thought of it afterwards. So yeah, absolutely a lot of lessons to learn with Teen Takeover. Definitely would like to work closer with the high school. Also trying to figure out different ways to have, Mindy and I were kind of talking about this earlier in morning announcements, the Friday before one of the teen takeovers, or unfortunately, we haven't been able to make that connection where that's happening yet. It's not, that doesn't mean we can't get there, but that definitely, I think, is a huge key component to making it successful.
Yeah. And then this week is spring break, or the 28th, they'll be the end of spring break. So
Yeah, and we were trying to keep them consistent, like every second and fourth. So Kyla had actually pointed out that before. She was like, you realize, and I said, yeah, but then this will be easier for advertisement every second and fourth. They either come or they don't. Yeah, hindsight.
I'm wondering if maybe it would be like more like a once a month thing. But I'm also wondering, and I know the kids who are in Key Club come over to the facility a lot. What other are there any other groups? Because you had shared with me that they close like right when the school ends now, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I wonder if there's an opportunity to like move some of the other clubs over to meet and then just more kids just organically spending time there. I don't know the answer. I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on. Does anyone know if Amy's at the high school anymore or not? She's not back. Her and I had discussed that um a while long ago, and have right when I found out that the clubs had to find other places to go after school. Um, and my understanding that was that she would share that information, and she probably did. They might just be finding different places to go, like the library, or I'm not sure. But we did offer our facility for those clubs after school.
I heard that they're closing the Milwaukee Center.
No comment?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I've run into several people that go there that said that everything's been canceled classes wise and that they don't have budget so they're going to close the center.
All I can say is that our forecast looks good, and that our community center is doing great, and that we don't have any budgetary issues right now. And I really am saddened by a lot of the budget issues that are going around all around Clackamas County right now, probably all counties. But yes, I mean, I don't know if they're closing or not, but unfortunately, they are dealing, amongst other things, a lot of the centers are having to really downsize their programming. So, and one of the big crucial ones is transportation, which I think that's why it's so important that we have lunch and learns, or talk to people or promote the different ways that seniors in our community can get around, even in rural, areas. There are programs that TriMet, Lyft, TRP, but they're trying to bridge these gaps basically. So we just need to get that information out there to people. So.
I have I guess something to add in regards to like donations and money and all that jazz. I was just talking when I got here about the ability to make a donation via electronic portal. And it sounds like we don't have the ability to do that. Does the community center have the ability to do that? Like if I wanted to make a donation online?
Yeah, and you can go onto the city's website and do miscellaneous payments.
Okay.
We don't have it set up as donation, like we don't use the word like donate to us.
Sure.
Something we could always look into, but people do. We have individuals who come in and give us cash, give us checks, often, and they specifically say, this is for your homebound meal program. And so we mark that for homebound.
Okay. Okay.
So
perfect.
yes, but the answer is yes. People can come into the center and make donations in any way. And you just brought up a great other thing. We did get, so we're not Meals on Wheels. We're homebound meals or home delivered meals. And the reason for that is Meals on Wheels is trademark, and it's a huge corporation, right? Well, they, every year that they can, when they have an abundance of money, they send all the centers a check. And so we did get from Meals on Wheels America this year $10,000 for our program, which was very generous of them. And every year, whatever the amount, they split it up basically amongst the centers in Clackamas County and send funds to each of us. So
Could you tell me how much does it cost approximately a month to
in-house or? Yeah, so our in-house meals, because we have salad bar, it's a little over, the last time I calculated it, which was 2 years ago, it was like $12.50 or something like that. That includes the drinks, the cost, the salad bar costs, all of that. And then our suggested donation is 4. It really varies month to month depending on how much we get in donations into the center. But so to give you an idea, we have a contract with Clackamas County, and they reimburse us for our homebound meals up to a certain amount. And then for congregate meals, they reimburse us and it's $2.25 that they reimburse us. So $2.25 is what they give us. And it's up to a certain amount. And that was that whole last year when we were talking about that they were cutting funds, that's that grant, right? That the Clackamas County provides to each of the community centers. So we have that money that comes in from them, and then the city makes up for the rest. And so it's a really hard question, I guess, to answer, because we have that grant money that comes in, so we can basically count on $40,000 a year in that money for food costs. And then Medicaid plays another portion into that. But I would say overall a year, we're spending well over $100,000 on making these, feeding people. So we get donations back, we get some of the grant money back. So it just, yeah. Yeah, it's expensive. Food's expensive and the prices have gone up. And our donations unfortunately have gone down. And it's a suggested donation. We're not, knocking on anyone's door for money. So we make it work. We have a really thrifty staff. I can't say enough about them. They save everything. They use up, Tony, you're in the kitchen, like the mashed potato conversation today. Our nutrition caterer made these amazing mashed potatoes with cabbage and grilled onions, and they were delicious. And she had leftovers, but instead of just throwing them out, she froze them and she's going to use them for a future meal. So yeah, we're very conscious of that.
Any other questions or comments for Michelle? All right. Very good. Interesting. Very informative. Okay, so I don't really have much business from the board, except to remind everybody that very shortly there will be the spring market, which is going to be May 16th from 9 to 3. And the center is in need of volunteers for that. And that could be setup, cleanup, during. And so if you have the time, the inclination, please do drop by the center. Michelle, is there a sign-up sheet at the front for this?
Yes.
All right, there you go. Sign-up sheet at the center. And if you can't go to the center, you could always just give them a call and see what is available on the sign-up sheet, and see if you can help out with the spring market. Yes.
Good question. Do we have to do anything to sign up to volunteer beforehand? Like, can the kids volunteer also?
I'm going to say no for the spring market. It's going to be helping with placement of vendors in the morning. Liability wise, I don't think I want any kids per se. Helping vendors find their spots. Not too much. And then just helping in general as people come through the market, direction, information,
Okay.
possibly giving out information on the center. So it's nothing, I only need like 2 people.
Okay.
Probably 1 person to help in the morning. 6, 7 run vendors are starting to get there to help, or 2 people ideally, because they're going to be coming in from both directions, and then just placing them in their spot in the parking lot. And then I'll probably be okay at night. It's the morning that gets really chaotic trying to get everyone placed, and then verifying that they all have tent weights, stuff like that.
I think you should lasso my husband, Steve Bergeron.
Perfect.
Yes.
If I ask him, he won't do it, but if you ask him, he'll do it.
Just plug her in. Plug her into a spot. Haley, can you help me remember? I know that last year the spring market coincided with a lot of other events that were happening in the city. It was the Shred It event, Drug Take Back. Do you remember that?
Yes, and I believe that's happening again this year.
We are doing a coordinated effort. Okay, so just I'm gonna plug it because you know, I sit on 2 boards.
I thought it was, I thought it was gonna be on
Yes.
the 11th though, the Shred It and everything. In the newsletter, it said something about it.
Okay, so we need to I need to, oops, that one's my.
Hopefully it's on the 16th.
I have it on my calendar, actually. That's so funny, because I was like, what's on my calendar for that day?
Is
And
it
says
the,
Finance? Oh, wait, where is it here? No, I just had it up.
I know, I
It says
should have it on
Gladstone
mine.
Shred and Recycle Day, Drug Take Back from 10 to 2.
On the 16th?
16th.
I was
Okay,
gonna say,
great.
if that's off.
No, I know. The last
No.
thing Michelle needs to know.
I think it's funny that I actually put it in my calendar, because I wondered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So for the last, you know, this will be the second year, I think that it's kind of a citywide it's third year.
This'll
thank
be
you,
the third
Michelle,
year.
Third year, that it's kind of a citywide coordinated event where, I believe at the high school parking lot.
We've asked them, but
Michelle.
I don't want to confirm that they're
Oh,
doing it yet because
okay.
they don't know if they're going to have enough volunteers to do it this year. But
Oh,
we are hoping the high school will also participate.
okay, great. So usually, yeah, so the Hopin, it's a Hopin city on the 16th. You're going to shred your documents. You're going to donate to the robotics club, any old electronics that you have. They took gutters. They took an old gutter off of my house, and because they recycle metal, and I was really happy to get rid of it. And your old drugs, your prescription drugs, it can be over the counter medication. I always work that event. And then you're going to pop down to the community center. You're going to buy some cool stuff
Is the
down
fire-
there.
is the fire guys doing something too?
That's they do the drug take back.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So, or I don't know if it's the fire department as much as it is the police. The Gladstone police always do the
What
drug
time
take.
is the spring market?
It is 9 to 3. Yes. Yeah.
So set up 7, 8, what are your?
I believe that I told vendors they could start coming as early as 6 so that but you don't have to be there that early.
Coffee and a donut.
Yeah, I would say if you came, 7:30. So then you have some of them who don't show up until 8:45. So, yeah, it's always a mystery on market day. So, but most of them are really good. They're supposed to be set up no later than 8:30. So ready for everything to be open. And then this year for the spring market, we're going to have 3 food trucks. So that will be a lot of fun. People can have all their sweet
How many
treats.
vendors do you have this year?
I think we're going to have a lot. So far we have 50 or
Oh my
I haven't looked lately to tell you the truth.
Wow. It just
Um,
keeps getting bigger every
yes.
year. That's amazing.
so, and I mean, fingers crossed, no rain.
Yeah.
That's always the big
I was
one.
hoping too, because I gotta stand out there and take everybody's drugs back. So okay, well, that's fantastic. We could move on now to business from the audience, which is Bonnie talking about the foundation.
Well, thank you for having me. Good day. We have been very busy as well, working with Michelle and the center. Several things to report. Number one, I think that we're most proud of is the sign out front that says Community Center. It's just like, yeah, you don't even need neon. It's just wonderful. And Michelle coordinated that. So we thank her for that. And it was long overdue. So we're most proud of that, I think. And then if you've been inside the center, you may or may not have seen the large 85-foot screen that we've put in for classes and or advertising and or events, excuse me, to post whatever they're going to have. I think you mentioned a couple of events that had already used it. And so again, long overdue, but nice to have. And I think the exercise class is probably pretty happy about that. Don't have to move that cart around and go through all that work. So those are our two big things. Just a couple of things that we've done that I want to let you know about, just so people have an idea of what's possible. We had one of our homebound meals gentlemen who Jal and I delivered to. We noticed that his car was kind of like this, sideways in the back. And we found out that he had his little Barbie car spare tire back on it. And so it was way off and not in good shape. So we bought him a tire and had that installed so he can be on the straight. I think his car needs a lot more than that, but he's gonna have to figure that one out. And then we had another lady who was really wanting to take the Cooking for One class. And Kyla came to me and said that it would benefit her because it's hard to cook for one. I think a lot of people know that. And so this class helped her with buying of food, separating it, how to cook it to the maximum. And I think it turned out that Kyla ended up teaching it.
She did.
Yeah.
And the participant that you guys helped get into that program. And the reason we had to ask the foundation for the money is because we hadn't budgeted that in, and they each class, they buy all the ingredients. So like the last class that Kyla ended up putting, our instructor no-showed us, ghosted us the day of the event. So Kyla, again, I cannot say enough about the staff that is at the community center right now, whipped together a 5 or 6 week program for these guys because multiple people had signed up. And this class, this last class, just to give an idea of how much ingredients go on, I think it was only $35. Does that sound right, Bon?
For the tuition?
Yeah.
We paid 40.
40. So, but they bought 1 pound of ground beef, but everybody in the class was out of that 1 pound of ground beef was able to make a week's worth of meals for one person off the 1 pound, and then some other ingredients that they can either find at a food bank, or because she does a lot of, if you go to the food bank and buy these staples and then you buy this piece of meat, what you could have for the whole week. So, and she had come in and showed me all her week's worth of meals. So you don't really think about that. And I haven't been able to tell you that, but it does really mean a lot to these people because she's getting so much out of the class. She likes to cook at home. So.
Well, we're really glad that we could help her. And that's what we're here for. One of the other things that came up just Friday in our meeting and Michelle touched on it, about budgeting and the school district dropping some classes and leaving some classes and or instructors kind of in the wind. And so one of the most popular classes is one of the art classes. Is it the all-day one?
It is.
Yeah, it's an all-day class. And the instructor is 84, if I'm not mistaken. And the class is filled every time, so they get the tuition for the class, goes to the city, but because it's not in the budget, the city can't pay the instructor. So because she's 84 and most of the class are seniors, we agreed to pay her wage or her salary for the next terms before the city budget kicks in a couple of years when she's 86. So
Does that make sense to everyone? I don't want it to sound like this was a class that we weren't anticipating, so it didn't go into our line item for paying the instructors. We took them in after they found out the week of they've always had their classes with the school district. The instructor unfortunately found out that week that they didn't have space or funding for that class at the school district. So we were able to squeeze them into the community center so she could still hold this class. We only guaranteed her because we didn't have enough money allocated to pay her for her time for 2 terms. So we were going to cancel the class, but it's wildly popular. And so it's nothing that was foreseen, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And so the foundation, so that these people could, which are all seniors, except for one person in that class, and the instructors, the seniors, so they could keep taking that painting class. They had an ask from a community member if they could pay it, and they did. I just don't want it to seem like,
it was completely unforeseen.
Well, here's my question, because did some people already sign up and pay? Where did those dollars go? And
so the way that government funding works is that money doesn't go, that goes into a general fund. You have to, budget out your money. It doesn't matter how much we bring in. It does, however, when at the end, so when we're budgeting for the next biennial, I'll be able to go and easily say, we brought in this amount of dollars for these classes. And this is why we need this amount of money to continue the program and pay the instructors. So it's not counted as, it's going into the general fund as of right now, because I would have needed to allocate that at the beginning of the budget, at the beginning of the biennial. So did I explain that? Does everyone understand that? Okay. So it's going into the general fund, but next biennial, I'll be able to go and say, we had this amount of money come in, and I will be able to extend the pay rate, or the amount of money that I'm going to be able to pay instructors, because now we have a track record. We can show that we're bringing in enough money to cover these instructors.
right. I think my question is, if a bunch of people already paid and then the class was canceled at that location, do they not get reimbursed?
So they've already paid for last term. We were just not going to continue. We didn't have them pay for anything they didn't receive.
Sure.
We just weren't going to continue the program moving forward until, the next, till I could budget them in to pay her.
No, I totally get it. It's just interesting. Yeah.
I guess my question is the community school tuition goes to the city or the school board, the school district?
Here, they're our class now.
Well, but prior
Prior, it was going to them.
to.
I'm sure they got, yeah.
School district.
Yeah, we had
That's-
nothing to do with that. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I'm sure that they gave them all their money back.
Yeah, okay, because that's school
Yeah.
district versus the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that we've offered, everyone's got their classes, and
Is there an opportunity though for those people to pay the instructor directly?
that's what I had suggested.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, just until you get to a place where you can
yes.
flow the money differently.
So not
I'm just curious.
not to out the person who did the ask was going to pay herself, the instructor, but the instructor refused to take money from her students.
Yeah, so probably.
So
Fair.
she didn't want to take the money directly from her students. So it was a pride issue, or I'm not sure.
Probably just didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. And the lady that came to us and asked about it was willing to pay us, reimburse us to pay her, but the board said, no, keep your money. We're here to help. So,
Yeah.
and that's what's so important about this center, the way the center is just bulging, it seems. When we went on Friday for our meeting at 1 o'clock, there was nowhere to park. And we're just like, what's going on with Friday? It was crazy in there. And I think I counted 6 or 7 tables of card games and other stuff. And so,
When
yeah.
is this art class starting?
It just ended. And so
So it's
the new term, so we have our, fall, winter and spring terms that we do. And then in the summer, we're kicking off summer kids camps. So our spring term is now going to be April 6th through June 12th, 19th, somewhere right in there. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the chunk of time. It's a 10-week program. So they go for 10 weeks in fall, spring, and summer, or fall, winter, spring,
Okay, so this is starting in this.
April.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the foundation is picking up the spring, and then they're also going to pick up fall because all the classes take a break for the summer, so that we can do different types of programming. And then in the fall, we'll start up again.
Wow, okay. Fantastic, thank you.
Does that include yoga?
Yes.
No yoga. I'll curl up like a shrimp.
That doesn't mean that you guys can't get a group together and find out if space is available to come in and do self-led yoga. The center is always, if the space is open, people are allowed to use the space. And now with our new calendar of room availability, you can always come in and check, is the space available and do. So that's something that you and your group could talk about. We don't have the funds allocated to pay her through the summer.
Will Tai Chi be on in the summer, or is it going to be canceled also?
Tai Chi is year round because he's volunteer. So, nope, you'll still be there Gary's not going anywhere. You could kick him out of the building and you guys would be out on the lawn doing it. Yep.
That's wonderful. Just wonderful. The last thing that I was going to mention is Monday, May 11th, we're going to have our Mother's Day luncheon. And the theme this year is Downton Abbey. So think about your hats that were similar to the race day, but different theme this year. And so we'll be sponsoring that and serving that. And mothers, everyone's welcome to come and reserve, of course, but come and have lunch with us. I'm sure that Monica's got something. Well, we did see some of the menu. Yeah, it's got some nice finger type foods, but a good variety.
Well, and she went to culinary school and she's a chef, but her specialty is baked goods. And yeah, the things that this woman can whip up is shocking. I mean, chocolate croissants and Snicker, or what were those cookies? Did you? No. That she made salted caramel toffee cookies, chocolate chip cookies. I've never tasted anything so good in my life as far as cookie goes. Very delicious.
Missed that one. We've had several of our homebound meal people that we deliver to have mentioned how much better the food is. So,
But it's kind of sad for me and Michelle when we were by ourselves.
It's okay. You know what? I'm not a cook. I'm not a cook. I mean, I like to cook, but I cannot do the things that she does. She's amazing.
Any other questions for the foundation? No. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, if nobody else has any comments or questions, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I can motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Haley, can you call the vote, please?
Joelle Laku,
Yes.
Sharon Howard,
Yes.
Tony Bergeron,
Yes.
Mindy Prosky,
Yes.
Josie Whitaker,
Yes.
Kiva Antilla.
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, so meeting is adjourned at 4:25 PM. And the next meeting is going to be on April 21st at 3:30.